Joyce Bone is what she calls a serial entrepreneur. She is the author of Millionaire Moms, the art of raising a business and a family at the same time. You'll hear Joyce Bone's story today here on Babbie's House. Stay tuned. A great show is coming your way.
Every day is filled with possibility. At Babbie's house, Babbie's house, everybody is family. Welcome to Babbie's house. What's up, everybody? I'm Babbie Mason, and welcome to Babbie's house. Thanks for joining me today. I hope and pray that all is well with you and yours, and that you are enjoying the blessings of the Lord, because this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Joyce Bone is my very special guest here today on Babbie's House, and she has written a great book. I love what she calls herself. She calls herself a serial entrepreneur. And so what that means, she is a woman of vision. We're going to talk about how to get that vision up on its legs and how not to be defeated when you don't see things going your way. Stay tuned for a great conversation with Joyce Bone right here on Babbie's House. I want to kick things off with one of my favorite songs. Man, I wish I was listening the day that it was written, because I didn't write it, but it's a great song called How Great Is Our God.
Rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice. How great is our God!
Welcome back to Babbie's house. I want to introduce you to someone who is a visionary. She is an entrepreneur. She is a serial entrepreneur. I love that about Joyce Bone. I want to read a little bit on the back of her book. Joyce Bone is a nationally recognized expert in entrepreneurship and founder of MilitaryMoms.com. At age 28, she went from stay-at-home mom to co-founder of a $125 million publicly traded company with only a $10,000 investment. Welcome to Babbie's house, Joyce Bone. Thank you for coming today, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me, Babbie. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right away, I want to find out your definition of a serial entrepreneur. I love that phrase. Did you coin that?
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't make that up?
I didn't make that up.
But we get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Will you talk a little bit more about that and how that pertains to your life?
For me, life is meant to live in a big way as possible. So when I did my business that grew to 125 million, I was 28 years old. Mm-hmm. And then people, I retired for like 2 years, raising my children, so didn't really retire, but I had a lot of life ahead of me, and so I've done a lot of different business deals since that time. So I've never stopped. I continue to grow, and life is a journey. I mean, it's really meant to be lived.
Yes.
As big a vision as God has for you and yourself.
So you're a businesswoman. You love the journey of creating opportunity.
It's my art form.
That is your art form.
I can't sing as beautiful as you, so I have to do something to be creative.
Well,
and
see,
so
that's the
business
beauty of it all, is that God has given to every man the measure of a gift. Mm-hmm. And yours is dreaming and visualizing opportunity and possibility and making the world a better place in business and teaching other women how to do it and do it well and managing home and family and all of it.
Yeah, it's tough as a woman.
Tough.
And
it is tough.
if you have a family and you still want to have help your family financially if you need to, and then also express yourself. So
That's
a lot of
right.
times young moms feel stagnated because all of a sudden they go from being at work to being at home, and it can be isolating. So, my book is about encouraging women and giving them hope that they can have a full life, as full as they want.
Yes. You have a powerful personal story of how you kind of had an aha moment.
I did.
As a young mom.
That's right. So I was going to be a traditional stay-at-home mom, and I had my first son, left working full-time, and within about 18 months, we went from 2 incomes to 1, and it got really tight, and we wanted to continue saving and tithing like we had been. So things were tight, and I was in a Walmart cleaning supply aisle reaching for an extra bottle of Tide, and I realized we're going to be over budget in the household area if I buy this Tide, and it just brought tears to my eyes because of the fact of I was raised one of 6, and my dad lost his job, and I knew what that was like to have financial hardship, and I just saw going down that path as an adult, and it wasn't an option for me. I'm like, I'm not doing that again, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna have to change that storyline. So I decided, standing there in Walmart, that I would start a business, and that was the beginning of my company that got to $125 million. I had no idea what business I was going to start.
Yeah.
All I knew was I was 100% committed to making that happen.
Yes. There are women who are watching today, and even men. There are people who are watching who are stuck. They're in a Walmart aisle of their own situation, figuratively speaking, and they're stuck in a dead-end something, a dead-end job, a dead-end a financial debt, and they need a way out. And this is what I love about the internet, is because the internet is like the new frontier. You can create all kinds of possibility on the internet. And when you have that aha moment that day in the Walmart soap aisle, cleaning aisle, you went home and you did something.
I took action.
You did. Well, you tell us about that.
Well, I wrote down different business ideas every day for 10 days and had 30 really bad ideas at the end of it. So but I didn't quit. That's the thing, is you cannot quit. You have to be committed. You have to be willing to overcome obstacles. And it's not a matter of if, it's how many. It's like they'll just keep coming. But you just have to decide, get clear on where you want to go, even if it seems ridiculous at the time. I couldn't buy a bottle of Tide, but I set a goal to make 7 figures by the time I was 30. that was not very realistic, but that was my goal. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I followed it, and the system worked, and then off I went to the races. It was a process. It didn't happen all at once, but the idea came to me by sharing and talking about it with my former boss, who was also a mentor. And then, we ended up growing, copying a business model that was had been used before, but I put it in a different industry, and it worked. It was just the right idea at the right time with the right people.
Growing a $125 million company didn't happen overnight. Even coming up with the right idea, the right direction, didn't happen overnight. And so once you wrote down those 30, bad ideas, the right idea came along. So how did you get from this is a good idea to a $125 million company? I mean, you had to start. So what did you do first?
Well, it was a process. So what happened was I talked my boss into becoming my partner. And then he had a lot of money, so he became the main investor. And I remember him saying, well, how much money do you have? I was like, well, I got $10,000 in savings. He's like, okay. And I said, what do you mean, okay? He goes, write me a check. And I was like, what? He's like, put your $10,000 in. So I had skin in the game. And that's something that, we all have to be aware of, is that nothing comes for free. You have to have skin in the game, right? So while I gave up that money, and it seems insignificant in compared to, we raised a total of $66 million over time, but that $10,000 was everything that I had.
Yes.
It was everything that I had.
You didn't just have skin in the game, you had all your skin in the game.
Yes, yeah, and my husband's, trusted me to be a good steward of that, and so I was going to work hard and make it happen.
You're all, already giving us some really great ideas and some jump starts to getting a vision off the ground. You've got to have skin in the game, and you got to have people who believe in you. I want us to park there for a moment. Talk to us about how important it is to have people who believe in your dream, and what happens if people don't believe in your dream.
Well, none of it could have been possible for me without having people that believe in me. My boss became my business partner.
That's amazing, too.
I worked for him for 8 years.
I applaud him, whoever he is.
He was a saint, and he's sadly deceased now. But he was such a good man and such a good role model. It's the first time I'd ever really seen an entrepreneur in action, and it was fascinating. I learned so much just by observing him. But I built that trust. He believed in me because I spent 8 years working for him. So I always tell my kids, you got to sow your seeds early in relationship and nurture those, because you never know what relationship's going to lead to what, and it's just the right thing to do. Always do your best. And so he trusted me enough to invest $1 million in me. So that was a lot of trust. And then my husband, God bless him, he's been through like all these different deals with me, and he is 100% in my corner. So I couldn't imagine being surrounded by people who didn't believe in you. And if you are, I would find people who did believe in me and spend as much time with them as possible and minimize your exposure to others.
If the person who believes in you is a family member, but if that family member is a discourager instead of a believer in your dream, as you say, then you got to find people who do believe in your dream.
What I would suggest is, if you're in a situation like that, which is sad, that you find your own mentors, even if they're virtual. I have people I follow online that I admire a specific thing about them, and I use them as a mentor to me.
Yes.
And, if I want to learn about marketing, I find the best marketer, whatever it is.
That's great. We're going to talk more just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm so happy that Joyce Bone has come by Babbie's house. Such great stuff for those of us who are dreamers and entrepreneurs in our spirit. We're going to talk more with Joyce Bone after we come back, so stay tuned for more of Babbie's house. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the show. Today's conversation is with Joyce Bone. She is the author of Millionaire Moms, The Art of Raising a Business and a Family at the Same Time. And Joyce, I'm telling you, our conversation is just so enlightening to me. I I love that entrepreneurial spirit that you have. It's contagious. And you're a mom. You had this aha moment in the soap aisle at the Walmart. Well, the story continues. Tell us about the next chapter.
Well, part of being a serial entrepreneur is doing a lot of different deals, and I got involved in a deal where a mompreneur wanted to grow her business to the next level. So I came in and became a partner, an equity holder in her business, and also the president of the company. And we decided to go after Walmart because who's bigger than Walmart? Nobody. And so we ended up landing a cold call, landing a cold appointment with Walmart, and we flew out to Bentonville and we pitched her products, and we ended up getting 16 different products into Walmart. And that was such a cool moment for me.
Such a full circle.
Yeah, I actually brought a bottle of Tide to that meeting, and I showed it to him. I said, do you see this? I am your customer, and I know how your customers feel when they come in and they don't have enough money, and they're crunching the numbers to say, can I afford that?
Yeah.
And so that was really super cool for me.
That is super cool. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
And that just encourages all of us who are, who have a business or maybe a stream of income over here, one that's doing well and maybe one that's not doing so well, that we want to see it, get up on its legs. Do you have some advice for those mompreneurs, those young entrepreneurs who have a business? It maybe it's not, they believe in it, but it's maybe not doing too well or so well. Can you encourage them?
Well, absolutely. A lot of business is your mental mindset, right? So you have to have the mental strength to carry on during hard times.
Yeah.
You also need to leverage yourself. You're one woman or one man, and you can't do everything, right? So you have to leverage what you do have in your life, whether you need a babysitter, can you work it out with your neighbor where you can do a swap? Money, you got to figure out where the money's going to come from. And there's a number of ways to raise money, friends and family, angels, investors, small business, SBA loans. You have to figure out where the money's going to come from to sustain you while you grow your business. If it's not growing, why is it not growing? Are you making enough calls? Are you doing the work? Are you taking the action? I mean, there's a lot. And create systems. Systems make it easier for you to operate and help other people help you. Because if you have a system you follow, you can get them to follow that system too.
Sure. I know that money is a motivator, but what other things motivate you besides, being in the black? What other things motivate you?
Helping others, watching people start to believe in themselves. Because they see me, I was very average. Nobody expected anything out of me. I was a stay-at-home mom with an 18-month-old. Nobody expected anything out of me. Going through school, I wasn't an A student. I was average. I was perfectly average. And when people see, what I've been able to create just by setting a vision and going after it, they think, wow, if she can do it, I can do it too. So that's really what I love to help people assess where they are and help them break through in their thinking and in their actions to get where they want to be.
As I look at the internet or I watch the daily news, I see that entrepreneurs are getting younger and younger, and they're all over the internet. Can you encourage that young girl? She's maybe in high school or early college. She's got that entrepreneurial spirit. She wants to, maybe she started her own business or wants to. Can you encourage her?
Well, what I have to say about that is, hey, there's no better time to take a risk than when you're young. I actually teach entrepreneurship at Gwinnett Tech sometimes because I love to encourage young people. And I tell my kids that. I'm like, you need to start your own business because what are you missing? $7.25 an hour?
Yeah, at the local fast food joint.
Just test, try and test. There really isn't failing, it's just feedback. Even if you flop, it's feedback. Okay, that didn't work. I'm going to take the lesson, apply it somewhere else. And you just keep, wash and repeat till you hit on something.
That Tide scenario just keeps making.
I'm telling you.
You're working it, girl.
I do a lot of laundry, girl.
I love it. How can we get a copy of your book?
Well, you can go to Amazon.com or my website, joycebone.com. I actually have a free download if they want to get one for free.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, Joyce Bone, we are so happy that you came by Babbie's house today. Thank you for inspiring us, motivating us, prodding us, and reminding us that, man, if you have a dream, you can do it.
That's right. God wouldn't put it in your heart if it wasn't for you.
If it wasn't possible. Thank you very much for coming by Babbie's house.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thank you, my dear friend, for coming by Babbie's house today. Listen, Joyce Bone was sent to you today to motivate you. You've got that idea, you've got that motivation, and you've got all kinds of possibility out there in the world. Not long ago, I discovered the 10-finger prayer. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That means with God, all things are possible. So that's just a word of encouragement for you today. Listen, will you do me a favor and go to my official website at Babbie.com, and there you will see all kinds of resources, music and books and Bible studies, conferences for singers and songwriters. I teach and train and mentor the next generation of singers and songwriters and teach you how to write better songs, teach you how to launch a music ministry. If you feel the Lord is calling you into music ministry and you don't know how to get started, check out our conference called The Inner Circle and sign up for the next conference. There are 2 annual conferences, one for singers and one for songwriters. Get involved and get in Babbie Mason's Inner Circle. I want to help teach you what I think I know about singing and songwriting in ministry. And then there is a link there on our website at Babbie.com. There's a link to BabbieMasonRadio.com, or you can go straight to the internet radio station called Babbie.com. And there you will hear beautiful music and encouraging words 24/7. You'll hear music of your favorite artists and authors. You pick a name that you know and love. Their music is played there on Babbie Mason Radio. But we also celebrate the music of the independent artist and the independent author. So check it all out at Babbie.com and BabbieMasonRadio.com. Well, thanks again for joining me today. And remember that God loves you. He loves you just as much as he loves his very own son. John 3:16 comes to mind. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Well, God bless you, and thanks for joining me here today on Babbie's House. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.